guys, it's me, Candy. I'm back today with 7 different meals that we have eaten over the last 2 weeks I wanted to share with you guys. The first one is kind of a cheat because James cooked it, not me. So he did 1 pound of ground beef, 2 cans of refried beans, chili powder, oregano, cumin, and garlic. And we just made everybody quesadillas, tacos, burritos, whatever it is they wanted with the meat in it, and some Munster cheese, and then we also had lettuce, tomatoes, salsa, taco sauce, and sour cream. So just kind of an easy dinner to make everybody happy. Everybody picked what they wanted. That was my plate, and then Penny helped me make some brownies. I did the peanut butter swirls, and she did chocolate chips on some of the others, and that was dessert tonight, and everybody loved having their own little brownie square. Okay, moving on to the next dinner, I have these chicken wings I've already breaded. I did some milk and eggs whisked together in a bowl, and then in the other bowl I had some Cajun seasoning, garlic, onion, black pepper, paprika, and flour. Whisked that up, so I dipped them in the milk mixture, then the flour, fried them up, and then I used some garden vegetable seasoning, put that on some squash with some butter, and I am also doing corn on the cob, a can of ranch beans for James, and then some basic white gravy for that. And then the kids want to eat some chocolate banana bread for dessert with that. I'm also almost done with dinner here. I'm mashing up the potatoes, getting those ready to eat, and here is what dinner looks like finished. And now we're moving on to the next meal. This meal was meatloaf, and it was actually for 4 adults, 5 children. So I have 4 pounds of ground beef, 2 eggs, some breadcrumbs. I went blank there for a minute. And it's about a cup of breadcrumbs, the 2 eggs, about half a cup of bread and butter pickles, 8 ounces of the Munster cheese, and about a 1/4 cup of ketchup and 1/8 of a cup of mustard in there. So I mixed everything together, and then I added the pickles and the cheese. Now I'm going to mix it up again a little bit and get it in the pan, get it shaped into our meatloaf. And then from there, I have some bacon. I'm going to wrap around it, and then I'm going to mix together half a cup of ketchup and a 1/4 cup of brown sugar with just a little bit of onion powder, and pour that over the top of the bacon. Get it in the oven for about an hour and a half at 350, and just let it kind of slow cook while I make the rest of the sides for dinner. So here is our great big meatloaf, and now we are going to get it wrapped up, like I said, with this thick cut bacon that I had in the freezer. And then here's my ketchup and brown sugar mixture that I'm going to put in there on top of it before we bake it. There are a lot of ways to do meatloaf, but the bacon cheeseburger meatloaf is the biggest hit in our house when it comes to meatloaf. There is never any leftovers, and our company that came over for dinner tonight really enjoyed this. They said it was the best meatloaf they ever had. So I would say try this out if you have not made bacon cheeseburger meatloaf before, because it's a people pleaser. Anyways, here, like I said, I'm just covering it with the ketchup mixture and getting it in the oven. And then now I have some butter and some flour I kind of whisked together and put in a pan on low heat. And now I'm just adding some beef broth, turned it up on high, and I'm just going to whisk and keep adding broth and keep whisking until we have some gravy, because I'm making mashed potatoes, and I know I made mashed potatoes with the chicken, but that was 2 nights before actually, and mashed potatoes just go with meatloaf anyways. So we have our corn on the cob, mashed potatoes, our gravy, our meatloaf is just coming out of the oven. Here it is. Because this was not the leanest beef in the world, I did have to pour off some grease from that and let it finish cooking the last half an hour. And then to go with it, I also steamed 2 bags of just peas. Now we're moving on to the next meal. We're making some Italian chicken. I completely forgot to film when I first put this in, so this is about an hour after it's been cooking, and now I'm showing you it like 4 hours later, but it's just some chicken and Italian seasoning in the slow cooker, just on low all day. And then the last hour I just turned it up to 350, added some fresh green beans, and I'm going to go ahead and start just 2 cups of rice, 2 cups of water, and a chicken bouillon cube as a side for our chicken. And I also just made up a great big salad. I used some leftover corn on the cob, cut it off the cob, some olives, some cucumbers, some snap peas, some lettuce, and some cheese that was just leftover cheese in the fridge, just to kind of make a big hearty salad. Here is our finished rice, ready to eat, and I'm going to show you the chicken and stuff here in just a second. I went ahead and made some gravy with just some chicken bouillon, butter, flour, water, and there it is. And to go with it, we are also having just a like 88-cent or 89-cent, whatever, Aldi stuffing mix, because James loves Aldi stuffing when we have like baked chicken type things. And then that's the chicken ready to go. And these are what the kids' plates look like. This is actually Maddie's plate, and she's just got a little bit of everything. My kids really, really love Italian chicken. Even if I do a whole chicken, they'll eat the whole chicken. And this is CJ's plate, and this chicken came from when I did some freezer cooking one day. Well, not freezer cooking, but like freezer prep with some meat. I'll link the video in the description box, but it's just about half a bottle of Italian dressing with the chicken, and it goes in the freezer, and that's it. Okay, so moving on to the next dinner, I have some onion I chunked up, a small carrot chopped up, just a yellow squash and a zucchini, and they're both chopped up. I have some diced tomatoes with roasted garlic and an onion, and then just some extra minced onion and half a stick of butter. So I'm melting the butter in the pan, and then I'm going to start adding all of the veggies to the pan and kind of letting them brown just a little bit with the minced garlic in there as well. And once I get that going, I'm going to add the tomatoes to it. And then I'm just going to drop the temperature on the pan down to low, put a lid on it, and just let it cook slowly while I cook the rest of the dinner to go with it. I'm starting now some fried potatoes. So I have 5 potatoes I just washed up. I'm cubing them up kind of small, and I'm getting them in the pan with just some grease, and I'm going to let them fry. My landlord actually came over with some fireworks for the kids, and I forgot I was cooking these, so they ended up a little bit mushy, but they were still pretty good. And anyways, I'm just going to let those cook, and then at the end I'll add garlic, onion, salt, and black pepper to those. Here is how the squash, onions, carrots, and zucchini are looking before I add my can of tomatoes to it. Now, like I said, I'm adding my tomatoes, and just going to let it slow cook with a lid on it. This was really, really good. I liked it. The kids liked it. James didn't try it because James doesn't try anything new, especially vegetables. Anyways, here I have pepper, onion, garlic, and paprika I'm whisking up and getting mixed up really good. And to go with that, I have just some chunks of pork steak that I kind of cut small. I like to just grill pork steaks. James likes them breaded and fried, so that's what I'm doing, but I am making them bite-sized just to be easier for the kids to eat instead of like a big chunk like a chicken fried steak. So I'm whisking up 1 egg and some milk in this bowl, and then I'm going to dip them in the milk and egg, and then dip them in the flour, and then get them frying. I know lots of fried food this week. It's just kind of how things are turning out, and this it's actually 2 weeks worth of meals. These are just the ones I recorded or remembered to record. Anyways, here's my mixtures. Here's my chunks of pork. We're frying them up. That's what's going on to go with our fried potatoes and our squash and onion and carrot and zucchini mixture and tomatoes, all that jazz. So here they are. I'm just flipping them around in the oil, and then once they're done, I'll just do another batch until we have a whole lot of pork. Here is what it looks like finished. I did drain them on a like a metal rack, wire rack, whatever, and let the grease drip off before I moved them to the bowl. And here is my mushy fried potatoes. Like I said, I got distracted. It happens. And here is our finished squash, and like I said, we loved this. It was really, really good, and I'll make it that way again soon. And then just because they were in the fridge and they were a few days from expiring, I have some smoked sausages with cheddar, and I just kind of frying them around in some grease and going to serve those on the side. I actually put mine on top of my squash. Anyways, this is tonight's dinner. Okay, the next dinner I'm going to show you is cooked by James, so I don't have a lot of video, but he did a pound of pork sausage, drained it, set it to the side, did a pound of ground beef, drained it, and then he put it all in with some Velveeta, Rotel, and milk, melted it all up, and just made like really meaty nachos. He cooks dinner about once a week, and that's what he wanted, so that's what he made. And then we had salsa, taco sauce, and sour cream on the side. So moving on to the next meal now. Okay, so I washed and cut up 5 potatoes into fries, and I'm just going to deep fry those real quick on the stove. And then I have 2.5 pounds of ground beef. I'm doing smokehouse maple seasoning in it, mixing it up and making patties, and then just going to cook them on the stove top. This was like 73% beef, so it's really fatty, so I kept having to drain the grease out of the pan. But yeah, anyways, burgers and fries tonight. It has been storming all day. They don't even have power anywhere in town. So I don't know if we were going to keep power, so I just wanted an easy and basic dinner tonight. When all the burgers were done, I just put them on a sheet pan, took some sliced up cheddar cheese, threw it on them all, threw them in the oven on the broiler, melted the cheese, and then started serving up burgers with whatever toppings everybody wanted. We have like 200 tomatoes out in the garden and not one is red, so we had to run to town just to get tomatoes today, but we are using lettuce from the garden, and just like I said, an easy dinner because they don't have power anywhere in town. So anyways, this is the last dinner I'm going to show you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would appreciate if you would give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.